Yeah, it's absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's not education directly. I mean, I can see how it's easily applied to education. But in the example I tell about the story of the transformation of the YMCA, for instance, in the US, and actually also for startups, there are examples about how the Pentagon, for instance, works with startups to start to innovate in the field. So I think here the key issue is that, for me, I mean, all what I'm talking about is about developing your innovating capability. It can be an individual, it could be a team, it could be a small company, a big company. It doesn't matter the industry you're in. The only requirement is, do you have a customer? Because as soon as you have a customer, then there's a concept, or we can find your non-customers, right? And if you have a customer, it means that now you can go and engage with the customer and learn how to listen to, what they're telling you, listen to what they're not telling you, and discover, weak signals in the, and this is what design thinking calls job to be done. Try to identify the job they're trying to do. And then you have non-customers, and you can listen to their silence. So I mean, it's totally generic. I'm talking about how to develop, if you will. It is all about how you develop your innovating muscle. Anybody first, number one, very important. Unless people contradict me, I think everybody has innovating capability. It doesn't matter where you are in the organization, what is your training, what is your level of hierarchy. Everybody, and we always surprised that, and senior leaders are also surprised when I tell them the story about their employees. They're always surprised about how innovative people are, and people can display huge innovative capability, especially when they go out of work. They deal with their families, with their sports association, with their religious association. They do lots of innovative stuff, and it feels like they come to work and suddenly they switch off this innovating capability that they have. Second, is that everybody has a customer. Some people have an external customer if you're a salesperson, but internally, if you have an if you're HR, you have customers, lots of customers. Internal customers, employees, the union representatives, the senior leaders, maybe the CEO, or the departments. You even have external customers, like, new recruits. You need to bring talent into the company. So what I'm talking about is tools and techniques that allow you to learn and listen to all of these customers are telling you or not telling you. So there's plenty of room. That's why I say innovating is about looking for new ideas that create a value for a customer. So HR has many customers they can innovate for, and it's an idea that has to create also value for the company. And it's just a question of creating a habit. I mean, I can give you the example that really stayed in my mind. A number of years ago, we had a Starwood, the hospitality company. They had a conference here in Paris with 700 people, 700 frontline managers. So what we did, we took the 700 people and we split them in 64 teams, gave them kind of an introduction to a couple simple, intuitive tools about how to listen, observe customers. Then we send them roaming in the streets of Paris with cameras and notepads and, just ask them to go around and just observe and look for ideas or observations, insights that they could see walking around in the streets of Paris. Three hours later, they came back and they had 1,700 ideas, 1,700 ideas. Then we just spent time kind of cataloging them and structuring them, put them in different categories. And there were of course, there were lots of ideas which were, small improvements, small improvements, but a few of them actually became the source of a corporate-wide initiative. I remember one which was called Fantastic. This was a marketing development approach for new products where the focus was based on looking at the children and not at the adults. And that became a corporate-wide initiative. But the point here is that none of these 700 people was an innovator. Actually, it was very interesting. Some people came back and said, you know, I didn't know. I didn't think I was a creative guy, you know, but now I can do it. And it just took for them to go out there, create that space. This is what middle managers need to do. No, it doesn't take like big resources. Just allow your people on a regular basis to participate in an innovation project with another team somewhere else in the company, or to just go and spend 30 minutes with a customer and not be, you know, what I call the tell mode, not trying to convince the customer, but listen, observe, look what the customer is living. Try to understand what is the problem that the customer is trying to solve, and develop a sense of empathy for them, and take notes and bring them back to the company. 30 minutes every whatever, I mean, depending on the size of your company, 30 minutes every 2 months, that's already training your innovating muscle. Training your innovating muscle is simply switching from supply side execution to actually open up yourself, listen with empathy, observe, and try to understand. And that's it. And that's the start of the training. This is like a, you know, you go to the gym and train your muscle.